Imagine a city so grand, its walls were said to reach the heavens, a place where gardens floated in the air and a tower aimed to touch the sky. This isn't a fantasy novel. This was Babylon, one of the most magnificent cities of the ancient world. Today, let's journey back in time, over 4,000 years ago, to uncover the story of this legendary metropolis. Our story begins around 2300 BC, on the fertile plains of Mesopotamia, what we now call Iraq. This region, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, was the cradle of civilization. Early on, Babylon was just a small, unremarkable town. It was overshadowed by powerful city-states like Ur and Akkad. For centuries, it remained a minor player on a very crowded stage. But everything changed with the arrival of one man, a leader whose name would echo through history, Hammurabi. When Hammurabi took the throne around 1792 BC, Babylon was still a modest kingdom, but Hammurabi was ambitious, cunning, and a brilliant military strategist. He didn't just conquer, he built alliances, played his rivals against each other, and, when the time was right, he struck one by one. The mighty cities of Mesopotamia fell under his control. He united the entire region under a single rule, creating the First Babylonian Empire, also known as the Old Babylonian Empire. But Hammurabi's greatest legacy wasn't his conquests, it was his code of laws. The Code of Hammurabi, famously inscribed on a massive stone stele, is one of the oldest and most complete legal codes ever discovered. It contained 282 laws, covering everything from property rights and trade to family law and professional conduct. You've probably heard of its most famous principle, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. While it might sound harsh to us today, it was a revolutionary concept for its time. It established the idea that justice should be applied systematically and that the law was a public matter, visible to all citizens. This code shaped Babylonian society, making it a place of order and sophisticated governance. Under Hammurabi, Babylon flourished, becoming a center of trade, religion, and culture. After Hammurabi's death, his empire began to slowly unravel. Over the next 1,000 years, Babylon experienced a roller coaster of fortunes. It was conquered by the Hittites, who sacked the city, and later ruled by the Kassites, a people from the nearby mountains who held power for nearly 400 years. Then came the Assyrians from the north, who were fierce warriors and at times, ruthless rulers. The city was destroyed and rebuilt multiple times. It was a long, dark period for Babylon, a shadow of its former glory. But Babylon was resilient. Its cultural and religious significance was so profound that even its conquerors often revered it. Then, in 626 BC, a new chapter began. A Chaldean leader named Nabopolassar rebelled against Assyrian rule. He successfully drove them out and established the Neo-Babylonian Empire. This was Babylon's second golden age, and it would be even more spectacular than the first. The city would reach its absolute peak under the reign of Nabopolassar's son, a name that has become synonymous with Babylonian splendor, Nebuchadnezzar II. Nebuchadnezzar was a visionary builder. He was determined to make Babylon the most magnificent city the world had ever seen, and he succeeded. He embarked on a massive construction program, transforming the city into an architectural marvel. The city was protected by enormous double walls, so thick that chariots could race on top of them. At the heart of the city was the Grand Processional Way, a street paved with limestone and decorated with vibrant blue-glazed bricks, depicting lions, bulls, and dragon symbols of the gods. This spectacular road led to the Ishtar Gate, one of the most famous entrances to the city. Imagine walking through this towering gateway, covered in dazzling blue tiles and reliefs of powerful beasts. It was designed to awe and intimidate anyone who entered. Beyond the gate stood the great temple of Marduk, the patron god of Babylon, and its towering ziggurat, a stepped pyramid that some historians believe was the inspiration for the biblical Tower of Babel. And of course, there are the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, described by ancient writers as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. These gardens were said to be a series of terraced gardens, filled with exotic plants and trees, appearing to float in midair. The story goes that Nebuchadnezzar built them for his wife, who was homesick for the green mountains of her homeland. Water would have been ingeniously pumped up from the Euphrates River to irrigate the plants, a true engineering marvel for its time, although archaeologists have yet to find definitive proof of their existence. The legend of the Hanging Gardens has captured our imagination for centuries, a symbol of beauty and luxury. Under Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon wasn't just a beautiful city. It was the center of an empire that stretched from the Persian Gulf to the borders of Egypt. It was a hub of science and astronomy. Babylonian astronomers meticulously charted the stars, developed the zodiac, and could even predict eclipses. Their mathematical knowledge, including the 360-degree circle and the 60-minute hour we still use today, laid the foundation for future scientific discoveries. It was a time of immense wealth, power, and intellectual achievement, but like all great empires, the Neo-Babylonian Empire was not destined to last forever. After Nebuchadnezzar's death, a series of weaker rulers took the throne. The empire was weakened by internal conflicts, and on the horizon a new power was rising, the Persian Empire, led by Cyrus the Great. In 539 BC, the seemingly impregnable city of Babylon fell. The story of its fall is the stuff of legend. According to the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, the Persian army diverted the Euphrates River, which flowed through the city. With the water level lowered, they were able to march into Babylon under the city walls without a major battle. The Babylonian king at the time, Nabonidus, was more interested in religious matters than in defending his kingdom. The city was taken, and the Babylonian Empire came to an end. Cyrus the Great, however, was a merciful conqueror. He didn't destroy Babylon. Instead, he respected its culture and traditions and incorporated it into his vast Persian Empire. Babylon continued to be an important city for a while, but its golden age was over. Over the following centuries, under Persian and later Greek rule following Alexander the Great's conquest, the city's influence waned. Its population dwindled, its magnificent buildings fell into ruin, and sand from the desert slowly reclaimed the once mighty metropolis. By the time of the Islamic conquest in the 7th century AD, Babylon was little more than a memory, a collection of mounds in the desert. For centuries, its exact location was lost to the wider world, its story told only through ancient texts like the Bible and the writings of Greek historians. It wasn't until the 19th century that European archaeologists began to excavate the site. Painstakingly, they unearthed the ruins, bringing the story of Babylon back to life. They uncovered the foundations of the Ishtar Gate, the processional way, and the massive ziggurat. Today, parts of the city have been reconstructed, including a replica of the Ishtar Gate, allowing visitors to get a small glimpse of its past glory. The story of Babylon is a powerful reminder of the rise and fall of civilizations. It was a city of incredible ambition, innovation, and beauty. From Hammurabi's laws to Nebuchadnezzar's architectural wonders, Babylon left an indelible mark on human history. Its legacy lives on in our legal systems, our measurement of time, our astronomy, and in the enduring tales of its legendary splendor. Though its walls have crumbled and its gardens have vanished, the spirit of Babylon, testament to human ingenuity and the timeless quest for greatness, continues to inspire us. Thanks for joining me on this journey back to ancient Babylon. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next historical adventure. See you next time.